On this week's World of Saltwater Fishing, the Marc VI production team and camera boat will be making a 216-mile, that's right, 216-mile one-way run from Miami's Haulover Inlet to the Green Turtle Club Resort and Marina, Abaco, Bahamas. Hop aboard and join us on this two-part Bahamas fishing adventure.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing. Big fish don't stand a chance.
There's just something extremely adventurous about taking your own boat from South Florida to the Bahamas, and I've done that forever. And to this day, I still get so excited that it's hard to sleep the night before. This particular episode, we're taking you from North Miami Beach's Haulover Inlet to a favorite Bahamas destination of mine, the Green Turtle Club, Abaco, Bahamas. Riding shotgun with me on this trip is longtime friend Craig Hardy, who is also a City of Hialeah firefighter paramedic. He is a hardcore angler, does the offshore stuff, does the inshore stuff, and he's a perfect guy to fish with because, like me, he fishes hardcore, he knows no time limits, he's very good on the boat, knows all the tricks of the trade, and he's a humorous guy too. If you don't keep your eye on him, he's a prankster, sort of like me.
I tell you, I got a phone call from George, and he gave me a call, and he asked me, he says, hey, would you be interested in going over to Green Turtle and over in the Abacos and doing a fishing show? And I was like, oh, I'd love to. You know, I've done some, usually was on the film boat with him before and sort of chasing him around, and this time he asked me to actually join him and do some fishing, and I jumped on the occasion. I said, of course, I'd love to do that, so that was nice.
The prerequisites for a Bahamas crossing include common sense, as the sea can become a very unforgiving place, a good weather window for the duration of the trip, a boat in perfect mechanical shape and having just had routine service performed, a float plan left behind with full details of the boat, crew, and itinerary of the trip, an ACR 406 OD perb, personal locator beacon for each individual, an ACR bivy stick for satellite texting, required safety items the likes of flares, life jackets, and throw cushions, all within quick reach, and if you fish a lot offshore and use the space, an inflatable life raft is a sound investment. Fuel management is key for any long-range run. My boat has a 310-gallon fuel capacity, but to be ultra safe, I base any calculations on 280 gallons as being usable. Initially, with full fuel, ice, gear, and crew, the boat and fuel consumption will be at its heaviest. As the crossing progresses, fuel economy improves exponentially. That's because the boat lightens up from the fuel being burned off. To make certain I had the 216-mile crossing covered in one shot, I consulted the Mercury Vessel View, which showed how much fuel I was consuming per mile. As long as I stayed around a 0.8 or 0.9 miles per gallon average, we would not have to worry about taking on fuel along the way, which in our case would have been at West End. As calculated, we had more than enough fuel to reach Green Turtle without stopping. Having done this trip numerous times, I simply pulled up the route from my Simrad. The only adjustment, we were departing from Miami and not West Palm Beach. We ran the 90 miles to Memory Rock on the Bahama Bank, then followed our routes, which took us past Mangrove Key, Little Sail, Oxbill, Center of the World Rock, Crab Key, Angelfish Point, Powell, and right to Green Turtle Key. Routes are also excellent guidance under heavy rains or low light conditions. Simply zoom in and follow them. Simrad's auto routing feature will accurately and safely calculate within seconds the best route based on your boat's draft. Just enter your departure site and destination, and Simrad will take it from there.
And so we got up early that one morning, and we're going to meet at the boat over at T&T Marine, and started that long trek out the canal there, and made our crossing. Once we got over into the bank area, it was just a gorgeous crossing. Made it right on our way over to Green Turtle.
We pulled right up to our slip, the Green Turtle Club, and from there it was just a matter of clearing customs and fueling up the boat and taking it easy the rest of the day in preparation for our first day of fishing, which would be the following morning.
Just grab a drink and started to get set and find our rooms and get ready for the trip.
After settling in, we all decided to meet at the Dollar Bar at the Green Turtle Club, where upon your crossing over, you get a complimentary Tipsy Turtle rum drink. Just a perfect way to start this trip and relax before dinner.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by Penn, let the battle begin. Mako, you'll find them where the fish are. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Mercury Marine, go boldly. George, we'll be right back.
After a beautiful crossing, checking into the Green Turtle Club Resort and Marina, enjoying a spectacular dinner, and getting a good night's rest, we're all charged up for our first day of fishing off the Green Turtle Club, Abaco, Bahamas. Craig Hardy and I load up the Marc VI, and we just take off in anticipation of having one heck of a day. We run to some really ragged bottom, about 28, 30 miles offshore the Green Turtle Club. And once we got over that bottom, we put the trolling baits out and went to work.
We hit a little bit north, went out there and started trolling, put the lines out and started working our way. And you could see a thunderhead off in the distance on north of us, and we were watching it for a while.
We're getting engulfed by a storm. Those Abaco summer, spring storms. And your initial thought, no big deal, looks like that's going to skirt north. But unfortunately, the radar showed that storm getting deeper and deeper and bigger and bigger. This was going to be a big one. So we took all the lines up, pointed the Marc VI towards land, and we just hauled. And I'm starting to see like a very light area compared to all the total reds. And I said, that's going to be our little push through. We're gonna run through here and get through this and get on the back side. Well, the hole really looked good on the radar, but unfortunately those holes close up. And this one surely did before we even got there. At that point, there was nothing but solid reds, and we just had to push through. After punching our way through the squall, the weather cleared. We went from using our Simrad Halo radar to safely navigate through the storm to activating its bird mode. And locate birds it did, which led us to a weed line that looked awfully fishy. Simrad's Bird Plus mode on the new 2000 and 3000 open array systems can reveal birds up to 8 miles away. And we run out not that far this time because we were stopped about, I'd say, 15 miles out by this gorgeous weed line and rip. We have to score here. This looks too good. We're the only boat here. Everything is just right. Sun's back out. Put the baits out. So we start trolling. I drop back a little bit. I'm hooked up solidly at this stage. Slow it down, Craigie. Oh, Eric.
Oh,
billfish. It's a billfish of some sort. Small, here he comes trying to kick up back in there. I'm working him closer. He's pulling too. We're just trying to keep tight right now. There, he's jumping around.
Tell me when you want to slow down a little.
As soon as you get in there, the gloves, you know where the gloves are, and you can start slow and get me right in here. I'll try to make it easy on you as possible.
Yeah, it was nice. He hit that short, and he hit it like 3 times. I kept dropping back to him, and he kept popping it, and then he saw the
Take a look at that, Craig. Here's the leader.
Yep, coming up at you.
Sail.
Little sail. Little sail.
Dylan, he's good here.
I got him.
All right, hold him in the water.
Oh, buddy. Hold on. I got you. Relax.
Glad you got him, Craig.
I got you. I want to get that hook out.
You're fighting him harder than I did.
Lure's out, George. You can pull the lure up.
Lure's coming up.
Yes.
Let's have a look at the fish.
Little guy. Nice guy. Nice fish. You ready, George?
Yeah, let me put it forward a little bit. You can turn him loose whenever, Craig. He's going to make it, too.
Yeah, he is. That's a nice fish.
Good job on that, Craig.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Not a bad start. Things are absolutely looking good at this stage. We're picking up the pace.
We were trolling for quite a while, and a little bit. We was little hits here and there, but nothing major. And then all of a sudden, I said, you know what? Let's change the speed up a little bit. George picked the speed up a little bit, and sure enough, one of the rods went off.
Pretty darn good. I need a cush up here. I needed the rig, without the rigger, wasn't it, or flat?
Yeah.
That rigger got drilled, and it just started smoking offline. I don't see any jumps. Feel a few good head shakes. Settled down right now. Just gonna keep tight till we could ID it.
Never came up at all once.
Stay down, some head shakes. We're coming near the wind on now, Craig.
Yeah, I got you.
Here he comes. Is that a wahoo?
Keep going.
A wahoo.
It's a wahoo.
Hang on, look,
Keep coming.
back, buddy.
Coming in the boat. Watch your feet.
Woo. And I've got to tell you, Craig, the luck. We're going with a fluorocarbon leader on this fish.
Nice fish.
And it hit just right. 150-pound fluorocarbon leader, whole trick keeping that boat going forward.
Yeah,
The long shank hook.
Oh, you got to keep it going forward with a wahoo.
Check the dentition on this, would you?
Yep. Do that.
So we boxed a wahoo and we had dinner. Now we go back to Green Turtle Club. What a great save for day one. And from that point, we brought the wahoo into the kitchen because they're going to prepare it for us for dinner. So at that stage of the game, everyone was off to their own rooms, met at the Dollar Bar again, had another Tipsy Turtle rum drink, and then made it into the dining establishment where they served the wahoo cooked a few different ways. And to have that wahoo you just caught a few hours earlier served just incredibly well. That was why you come to the Bahamas and why in a lot of cases you come to Green Turtle Club, because it was totally sensational and nothing short of that.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by Simrad. Go with Simrad and go with confidence. Rapala holds the world record for world records. Suffix, always use the best line. Starbright Boat Care Products, blending technology with performance since 1973. George, we'll be right back.
Day two didn't dawn the way we had hoped. Credit that to lines of squalls passing over the area. But it was the perfect opportunity to play tourist and take a golf cart ride into historic New Plymouth. We're at the Green Turtle Club Resort and Marina, Abaco, Bahamas. Well, we wake up to thunderstorms and rain and wind. We look out the window and said, oh, come on, it can't be. And we looked at the radar on our phones, and we had bands of these storms just blowing through. We have a golf cart. Got a second golf cart. Here we go, venturing into New Plymouth, which when you go to Green Turtle, it's definitely a must-see deal.
We went around, went to Miss Emily's, was our first stop into Miss Emily's. It's Blue Bar, is where the world famous Goombay Smash was started, and that was a great spot. Everybody got a nice glass of the Goombay Smash, and then after that we put $1 up on that bar too, and I guess that's a theme over there in Green Turtle, is put $1 up in the bar. So everybody signed $1 and put it up on the wall. Great, just the color of the buildings, and you know how nice the people are each time. Little places that you stop is it's just the Bahamas for you. They're great people.
George's Tackle Locker, brought to you by King Sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts. Visit kingsailfish.com.
ACR's new Global Fix V5 AIS EPIRB combines 406 megahertz satellite connectivity with AIS functionality. AIS is short for Automatic Identification System. What does this mean? A 406 megahertz emergency positioning radio beacon, known as EPIRB, when activated, sends a distress signal to a global satellite rescue system. This system, in turn, relays the GPS distress signal coordinates to local search and rescue forces. The new ACR Global Fix V5 EPIRB has a return link service which tells whoever triggers the EPIRB that the distress message has been delivered. With advanced AIS technology now incorporated into the new EPIRB, an AIS signal is also transmitted to nearby vessels outfitted with an AIS transponder. These vessels are then notified of the activated EPIRB's location, as well as the identification of the vessel in distress. The EPIRB's location is presented as an AIS target on their onboard displays. Rescue and recovery operations can begin immediately without having to wait for a satellite-based emergency response. This incredible technological advancement will speed recovery times, which is sure to save lives.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. ACR, the leader in marine safety electronics. Papa's Pilar Artesian Crafted Rum. Never a Spectator. VMC, your expert in hooks. King Sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts. Visit kingsailfish.com.
A favorite place of mine in the Abaco, the Green Turtle Club, is a total gem. It's a beautiful facility in that you have basically all kinds of room arrangements. You have club rooms, you have club suites, you have a superior club room, and where Craig and I were based out of, you have these waterfront villas, which are rather remarkable. You have the Dollar Bar, which in reality is called the Yacht Club Pub, but well known to everybody who goes there as the Dollar Bar. Their Tipsy Turtle Rum Punch, again famous. The beaches, remote, unspoiled, quiet. The marina, 40 slips. They could dock boats up to 130 feet. The entranceway has been dredged to a low tide of around 7 feet to get in. They have fuel and, of course, cleaning tables. And that's where you want to be at the end of the day, is on one of those cleaning tables. That means you had a decent day. The staff, total friendly. The food, beyond sensational. Just an exciting fishing expedition. Green Turtle Club in the Bahamas. You could bet that we're going to be back here very soon. Now, Craig and I were sharing one of the waterfront villas. And we got back to the room. Craig had his side, I had my side. And we were looking at each other and we're saying, you know what? All these mangrove snapper here. You know they're active. Let's grab a rod and reel and fish off the dock a little bit. One thing that anyone who comes to Green Turtle and they dock at the marina, especially around the fish cleaning table, the size of the mangrove snappers that congregate here for the scraps that come off the fish cleaning table and other boats that throw scraps in the water after they clean fish, they're immense. You're looking down there, you're looking at some fish that might go 5 or 6 or 7 pounds. So here we are, we're on the dock, 2 light spinners. Craig takes a ballyhoo, throws it out. He hooks up, catches a mangrove snapper, releases it.
Nice snapper. Oh, nice mangrove. Look inside here.
Hold him up and let's see him. Hold him up for the camera. Videoing this.
Look at these mangroves. Beasts. These are awesome. Right off the back of the house here in Green Turtle.
Well, I can't let him get away with that, so I baited up, pitched out. Sure enough, I got a mangrove snapper too. We got a tanker. Circle hook, let him run in the ballyhoo. Yank it. Now let him pull that rod tip, set the circle. Ooh. What snappers do. Circle hook set.
Nice.
Craig's not the only one who gets a snapper off the dock. He's going right here. Here he is. And down.
Look at this.
Not quite as big as yours, Craig, but
Nice
mangrove nonetheless. So that's sort of how we ended that night. Even though it was a washout and we had a great time in New Plymouth, we still managed to catch a couple fish and not get skunked. Well, folks, that wraps up part 1 of On the Troll. We enjoyed a beautiful crossing to the Green Turtle Club Resort and Marina, punched through a wicked squall, released a sailfish. He's gonna make it too.
Yeah, he is. That's a nice fish.
Boated a tasty wahoo.
Woo.
Look at that fish. That's a nice fish. Showing mono too. That's crazy.
Took in the sights and sounds of New Plymouth, where we sampled some tasty beverages, and even caught mangrove snapper from our Villa dock later that evening.
We got a big fella here. Oh, marlin!
But this trip is far from over. Tune in next week for On the Troll Part 2.
Yeah, it's all.
The action is only going to intensify.
Center rigger out.
If you want to keep track of our fishing adventures, we welcome you to follow us on our social media. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/George.Poveromo. I'm on Instagram at George Poveromo. And you can see our shows in 4K broadcast quality on YouTube at my YouTube channel, which is George Poveromo TV. Jump aboard and ride along with us.